Feedback on the quiz. Unfortunately, Canvas does not let me see which items in particular people got wrong. At least in this version, there are other times where I make a quiz that is matching and I can see which ones people got wrong. So I'm not sure what the deal is or why this is different this time, but I will have to figure that out. So I'm going to go through each one and talk about why the right answer is the right answer. I'm going to skip this first one because according to my stats, everybody got this one right. In the second one, here are the answers again. You can take this over and get whatever score you want. These are meant for practice. And since we don't meet face-to-face prior to this week, I want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to figure out what exactly is going on with each type. I'm also sending out a differentiation of reliability concepts document to everyone that will hopefully clarify some of the confusion where there is some. We'll finalize all this stuff when we meet on Saturday. The first one, this type of reliability deals with the extent to which I grade fairly, using the same criteria and only focus on what I am trying to measure, is an intra-rater issue. Again, this is the extent to which a single grader, me, is consistent with myself. For the second one, the stability this type of reliability deals with accounting for all of the outside factors. That's basically the definition of stability reliability. Don't think people had a lot of issues with this. This type of reliability deals with the fact that no assessment is perfect and any measurement does not necessarily reflect true ability, but a range in which true ability likely lies. Anytime you hear a mention of true ability or an observed score or a true score, you should be thinking of standard error. For the next one, this type of reliability deals with the extent to which my students understand my expectations and requirements in the same way that I do. Again, the idea here is that multiple people are looking at one thing. I write out directions, I look at it, all my students look at it. Hopefully we all come to the same conclusion. If we don't, that's an inter-rater reliability issue. For the next one, this type of reliability deals with the extent to which each one of my students interprets project directions in the same way. It's the same thing as the last one. And again, in this section, you can use items more than once. So again, multiple people are looking at the same thing, and we want to make sure they come to the same conclusion. Finally, this type of reliability deals with the differences in performance that result from different surface structures being used to measure the same thing. This is just a way of saying that different students would get a different word problem that measures the same skill, or they're trying to demonstrate the same level of understanding about colonization and social studies, but I'm giving them different colonies. It becomes an alternate form because even though the assessments are trying to assess the same thing, they're probably assessing a bunch of other stuff too. For the next section, we look at, hold on, I got a technical issue here. We look at a couple more. You notice that one of your students comes to school crying and struggles through the first period English test. Stability issue because outside factors are influencing their ability to focus or concentrate. You take the practice test twice and notice that there were slightly different questions each time, even though the test was trying to measure the same thing. When we look at parallel forms of test, that's an alternate form issue. It could be that one test is actually harder or easier than the other. Third one, you totally disagree with the grade the teacher gave you on your end of semester project. You think you should get an A, but she gave you a C. This is an inter-rater. You and your teacher are both looking at the same thing, but drawing a different conclusion. The next one, you feel as though, despite your best efforts, you grade each of your students' work a little bit differently, favoring some more than others. This is an intra-rater reliability, again, being inconsistent with yourself while grading. The big confusion that comes up here is that sometimes people mistake this for stability. When it's the grader, it's intra-rater reliability. When it's the test taker who changes their performance for whatever reason, that's a stability issue. Finally, your after lunch social studies class is in a coma because everyone gorged on the pizza lunch. that is a stability issue again, because people are sedated, so to speak, by the massive amounts of cheese and salt in their blood system. All right. Those are the answers to the quiz. Use them as you see fit. If you have any questions, bring them up on Saturday when we meet.